What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into something absolutely insane. We've all heard stories that just don't add up, right? People who just vanish. One minute they're there, living their lives, and the next, they're gone without a trace. It's the kind of stuff that keeps you up at night, wondering what could have possibly happened. The world is full of these crazy, unsolved mysteries. They're honestly more mind-blowing than any movie. These aren't just any old stories, though. We've scoured the globe to find the most baffling, the most shocking, and the most talked about disappearances in history. These are the cases that have stumped investigators for decades, sparked countless theories, and captured the imagination of millions. I'm talking about people who stepped out of a plane mid-air, pilots who flew into thin air, and even entire families who disappeared from a fire that might not have even been real. It's absolutely wild. So get ready, because you are not going to believe what you're about to hear. We are counting down the top 5 vanishings that absolutely shocked the world. I promise you, by the end of this video, your mind will be completely blown. Number 5. Amelia Earhart. This is a name pretty much everyone has heard, but the story is crazier than you can imagine. Amelia wasn't just any pilot. She was a certified legend, a rock star of the skies. She was the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean, breaking records left and right. She was on the verge of completing her biggest challenge yet, flying around the entire world. The whole world was watching her every move. In 1937, she and her navigator, Fred Noonan, were on the final leg of this epic journey. They had one more massive stretch to cover, a 7,000-mile flight over the vast, empty Pacific Ocean. Their next stop was a tiny little speck of land called Howland Island. Finding it would be like finding a single, specific grain of sand on a massive beach. Their radio transmissions became weak and filled with static. Amelia's last known words were that they couldn't see the island and were running low on fuel. And then, just silence. Nothing. An absolutely massive search and rescue mission was launched immediately. They searched 250,000 square miles of ocean but found absolutely zero. It's one of the most enduring mysteries of the 20th century. Number 4. D.B. Cooper. This story is straight out of a Hollywood blockbuster, but I promise you it's 100% real. Imagine this, it's the day before Thanksgiving in 1971. A man in a business suit, looking completely calm and normal, walks up to an airline counter. He buys a one-way ticket to Seattle and boards the plane. Shortly after takeoff, he calmly hands a note to a flight attendant. The man leans closer and says, "Miss, you'd better look at that note, I have a bomb." The note explained his demands, $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck. This was a real hijacking. The airline had no choice but to cooperate. He ordered the pilots to take off again, flying towards Mexico City at low altitude. With the bag of money strapped to him, he leaped out into the freezing night. He just disappeared into the night, becoming an instant legend. A massive manhunt was launched. The FBI scoured the search area for years. 9 years later, a little boy found 3 bundles of rotting $20 bills. The serial numbers were a perfect match to the ransom money. Number 3. Madeleine McCann. This case is absolutely heartbreaking, and it gripped the entire world. It's every parent's worst nightmare. In May 2007, the McCann family were on vacation in Portugal. It was supposed to be a relaxing, happy trip. On the evening of May 3rd, Kate and Jerry put their 3 children to bed. They went to have dinner at a restaurant only 50 yards away, within sight of the apartment. They took turns checking on the sleeping children every half hour. When she entered the children's bedroom, she was met with a scene of absolute horror. Her twin siblings were still there, but Madeleine was gone. The investigation was one of the most intense and high-profile missing person cases in history. The story was on the front page of every newspaper, on every news channel around the world. The case generated a media frenzy with endless speculation and theories. Then, in 2020, there was a massive breakthrough. German police announced a new prime suspect, Christian Bruckner. Despite this huge development, the case is still not solved. Number 2. Jimmy Hoffa. This guy was an absolute titan, one of the most powerful and controversial figures in 20th century America. Jimmy Hoffa was the president of the Teamsters Union, one of the largest and most influential labor unions. But to his enemies, he was a corrupt figure with deep, undeniable ties to organized crime. He was convicted and went to prison in 1967, but Nixon commuted his sentence in 1971. There was one huge condition. Hoffa was banned from any union activities until 1980. This all leads us to July 30th, 1975. Hoffa told his family he was going to a meeting with 2 powerful mob figures. Hoffa was seen waiting in the parking lot looking agitated. His car was found in the restaurant parking lot the next day, unlocked with no signs of a struggle. The FBI immediately knew this was a mob hit. The rumors and legends are insane. His fate remains one of America's most enduring and darkest mysteries. Number 1. The Sodder children. This is, without a doubt, one of the strangest and most unsettling disappearance cases I have ever heard of. It's Christmas Eve, 1945, in Fayetteville, West Virginia. The Sodder family, George and Jenny, and 9 of their 10 children are at home celebrating. In the middle of the night, a fire breaks out, but 5 of their children are trapped upstairs. George frantically tries to save them. He tries to drive his work trucks, but neither will start, even though they worked perfectly the day before. By the time the fire department finally arrived, delayed for hours, the house was reduced to ash. During the sifting of the ashes, absolutely no remains of the children were found. Jenny tested this by burning animal bones in a hot furnace, and the bones didn't get destroyed. They uncovered more bizarre details: cut phone lines, people throwing fire, missing ladder found thrown away. For the rest of their lives, George and Jenny dedicated everything to finding their missing children. In 1967, Jenny received a letter with a photograph of a young man who looked like her son Louis. The mystery of what happened to the 5 Sodder children has never been solved. And there you have it. 5 of the most mind-blowing, unsolved vanishings in history. From a legendary pilot lost over the ocean to 5 children who disappeared from a fire. It's crazy to think that people can just vanish, leaving behind nothing but questions. What really happened to them? But I want to know what you guys think. Head down to the comments right now and let me know your theories. I read every single comment, so let me know your thoughts. If your mind is as blown as mine is, make sure you absolutely destroy that like button. We post the craziest videos on the internet, and you don't want to miss what's coming next.